Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is a fun review of the latest episode, the burn session of the Real Housewives of Potomac, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a Kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. Hey, Candy Canes, what is up? AG Lady says they lied. Robin, Giselle, and Charisse. She did hold Robin. Wow, everybody do it in these three lying women. This is awful on national TV to do this, yet represent Potomac, Maryland. Wow, 100%. They lied. I do think that Charisse, Robin, and Giselle got together and made a pact. They're trying to get Charisse back on the show, and they're trying to get Robin kicked. Not Robin. They're trying to get Wendy kicked off the show. They did lie, 100%. And thank God for the shady producers who went back and rolled the B footage. Hey, Darren Hood, what's up? You dropped that candy cane. That's right, you guys. As you come into the room, be sure to like the video and drop your candy canes. Hey, Foxy, what is up? Hello, hello. All right, you guys, let's get into it. So let's see. So this is why I think Ashley is going against Candace, all right? Two reasons, two schools of thoughts. My first reason is I think that Ashley, Giselle, and Robin got together and decided what storylines are they going to do, who's going to be the target. Obviously, Robin said, I'm going after Wendy. Obviously, Giselle and Ashley got together and said, we're going after Candace and Chris. So I think that's one part of why Ashley is going so hard at Candace. The other side of that is that I think that Ashley is pissed at Candace for what she said when she broke the fourth wall. So remember in the last episode, or maybe it was episode before that, one of the last two episodes, where Giselle confronts Candace and is like, oh, you know, Chris came on to me, he made me feel uncomfortable, blah, 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 all that BS, lies, whatever. And Candace was just like, excuse me, I'm not here for it. And she gets up and she calls in the producer, Eric, and then she goes on her whole rant like, why are you going after my husband? You know, they all got together to do this against him. Oh, I guess it's his season to go after him. But Michael Darby is available for it. He's the real predator. He's the real one touching people's butts and making people uncomfortable. Michael Darby is available for that. I think Ashley heard that, and or the producers told her what Candace said. And I think that is what set Ashley off again to go against Candace. That's why I think she came in so hot during the burn session with like, oh, my friend said that Chris is being flirty with her. Oh, he's doing all these inappropriate things. Oh, he's sending people DMs. I don't believe it. I personally don't see Chris Bassett cheating on Candace. And if he is, I don't think he's doing it with anybody that's involved with the show or a friend of the show or a friend of the friend of the show. I just don't see it. I think that Ashley wants to get Candace back for what she said about Michael Darby. And I think that's why she came so hard for her during the burn session with all of that. And that's why she was pretending to be nice to Candace when she went to Candace's house. But you could tell there was still an iciness to her because I think she was pissed that Candace called out Michael Darby during that breaking the fourth wall scene, right? Okay. Now, prior to that, I actually really liked Candace's and Ashley's budding friendship. Like, I'm kind of pissed that they weren't able to become friends. I actually think they would have been a really good duo. I'm warming up to Candace, you know, past actions and antics aside. I am kind of warming up to Candace. I think she's growing, and we have to allow people the room for growth, right? People can go to therapy, they can work on themselves, they can become more mature, and they can grow. So we have to give people the grace to grow, and I see the growth with Candace. I really do. So I'm here for it. And I wish that we could have seen her and Ashley's friendship actually blossom, okay? Now, let's get into the Ashley Darby Michael separation. I don't believe it. I think that they just have an open marriage, but they don't want to come out and say it. And I think that Michael Darby doesn't want to film, and this is their workaround, right? This is the workaround. Instead of Michael saying, I don't want to be on the show, I want to be able to dip it and do it in peace, keep my business relationships intact. It's like, oh, let's say we're separated, but living in the same house when you have the financial means to not to. I call BS on this. I call BS on this 100%. You guys have an open marriage, call a thing a thing. Okay. Candace saying she canceled IVF. Girl, did you cancel IVF because you're having second thoughts about having a child with Chris? Or did you really cancel IVF because you're so stressed out about the show? Like, you've been on the show, you know the stress levels of the show. I'm confused. Why did you really cancel IVF? Like, to me, if I really want to save my eggs or get my embryos, whatever, or get my eggs ready together to be implanted to create an embryo to do the IVF the whole thing, I'm not canceling IVF. I'm eliminating stress in my life. So maybe I'm going to film a little less, or maybe I'm going to only film with people who rock with me, or maybe I'm going to make sure to be zen during whatever is going on. But I'm not canceling IVF because having a baby with my husband is going to trump any type of drama during a scene. So why did you really cancel IVF, Candace? I don't think it was because of the drama from the show. I just don't. So, girl, tell us what's really good. What's really going on? Let's see what else. Okay, so did you guys catch the shade? And this is where I don't think Candace meant to be shady, but she really was. And that's why there's a little bit of hypocrisy going on, right? So she's saying to Ashley, oh, you're supposed to be my girl. You're supposed to be my friend, blah, 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 blah. But now you're saying about my husband cheating. Like, how dare you? How could you? Why didn't you come to me? We're supposed to be friends, or at least I thought we were building a friendship. But Candace, aren't you also friends with Karen? But yet you're laughing and kikiing with Ashley on camera, saying that Karen is cheating on Ray? You sat there and said Karen thought she was doing something by going out of town by herself, but really she was going out of town with another man, is what you were alluding to. You basically said Karen was cheating on Ray. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't be up here all pissed off at Ashley saying Chris is cheating. Oh, you're my friend, but you're supposed to be Karen's friend. And you're up here saying she's cheating on her husband on camera over sushi and wine with Ashley. So it just kind of feels like, and again, I don't think Candace actually meant to be two-faced to Karen. I think Candace just got caught up in thinking that she could be friends with Ashley, thinking that she was just, kikiing and chit-chatting and, spilling the tea. But you have to remember, you're on national television. You're being filmed, and the tea that you're spilling is your friend's tea that she is allegedly cheating on her husband. You got to be cognizant of that, right? But again, I actually don't think Candace was trying to throw Karen under the bus, even though she did. Okay. Now, let's get into Mia. Messy Mia. Mia, this is the thing. I don't like it when people are the side chicks and they're proud of it. Like, you didn't need to tell us the story that you were in Miami with a bunch of friends. Gordon was allegedly, quote, happily married, came down to Miami, had sex with you all over the place, and then clearly dumped and divorced his wife and then married you. That's not a cute story. That's not cute, sweetheart. Not to absolve the man, because at the end of the day, Gordon was married to his wife, and at the end of the day, he was the one who had a vow or an obligation to her. But it's not cute. It's not a good look. And so when Gordon may or may not cheat on you, may or may not leave you for Jacqueline, your bestie, who was down there, who you were dipping it and doing with, who now can't stand you, and you guys are fighting on Instagram and Twitter, and you already made it clear that you've had some threesomes with her, with Gordon. If he leaves you for Jacqueline, it's going to be like, well, you lost him how you got him. It always blows my mind when a side chick is proud of being a side chick. It's like on the Real Housewives of Dubai, when Caroline Brooks kept trying to play the victim. Oh, my ex-husband left me. I was homeless with my child, which turned out not to be true. Turned out she was getting, child support and she wasn't homeless. She had a place to go and he was still very active and co-parenting, literally then also becoming a partner in her business. But she was trying to play that whole woe is me. And then remember, she told it that she was sleeping with a married man who was some guy in Africa, some like Kenyan mayor or something. She was sleeping with him. And she's like, oh, I would have been the next, queen of Kenya if he wasn't already married. That had me side eyeing Karen Lynn Brooks. Like, that's what I mean. And it's not absolving the man. Just because you're holding the woman accountable doesn't mean that the man is not at fault. Whoever is married is the most at fault, always 100%. But when the woman is proud of being a side chick, it's disgusting to me. And I like Messy Mia, but that left a really bad taste in my mouth. Not a good look. She also says she doesn't have cancer. Duh, we all knew she didn't have cancer. She had some lumps. They're benign. Get them removed. Keep it popping and pushing. Go join Teddy Boring Mellencamp in the whole I have cancer storyline. Go join Teddy over there, okay? Let it go. I still like Gordon. I don't like the fact that he cheated on his wife, but I do like Gordon. I actually think he's kind of like now I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I do think he's a good guy. Like I like Gordon, but again, he did some messed up stuff, but we're all human beings, Unfortunately, a lot of people have affairs. Unfortunately, a lot of people cheat. That's unfortunate. It's not okay. It doesn't make it right, but I can be multifaceted. I can look at somebody objectively and say, yeah, you did something that was dirty and low down, but yet I still kind of like you and I still think you're a good person. You just did something that was shitty and shady, right? We've all fallen short of the glory, okay? Now, let's keep it popping to Robin. Why are you still on our screens? Boo-boo. Robin was so boring to me. Achingly boring. The whole prenup scene, that could have been deleted. That could have went on the editing floor. Nobody believes you and Juan are smashing. Nobody believes you and Juan are getting married. What about his money that you squandered before, and now you want to act like you are this big business mogul? Who's buying your hats? Who's listening to your podcast, boo-boo? Who? You're the check you're collecting is the Bravo check. Let's just call that thing a thing. The big check you're collecting is Bravo. I don't think Reasonably Shady, and I don't think your hat line is keeping the lights on. Bravo is keeping the lights on. Let's just call a thing a thing. Robin got points with me when she told the truth about Chris Bassett. I really do think it was just Giselle trying to have a storyline, trying to have a come up, trying to be relevant, trying to go against Candace. I'm team Chris when it comes to Giselle versus Chris. I also don't like it when people use real people's trauma, like a group of people's trauma, to use that for sympathy points and to kind of use that to weaponize against somebody else. Like, there are real victims of assault and coercion and all of that stuff. For her to try and say that he was doing that to her when clearly he wasn't, even she said he didn't say or do anything, it missed me with that. But I did like Robin that she spoke the truth and was just like, Chris was just having a conversation, like, girl, it wasn't that deep, right? Now, this is the thing. Where Robin missed me, or where I could miss Robin, is with the Wendy situation. Robin, just lick your wounds. Just admit that last season, Wendy read you down for filth, as she should had. You and Ashley and Giselle got together and you wanted to repeat a rumor that you knew was a lie about her husband. The rumor could have threatened his livelihood. It could have threatened their marriage. It could have affected their children. It was a lot. It was a lot, and they knew it was a lie. That's what gets me. When you know it's a lie and you bring it to the show because you want a storyline, because you want to tear down families, because you want to tear down marriages. And so Wendy had every right to read both Giselle and Robin for filth. And Giselle and Robin are still in their feelings because Wendy read them down. Read them down, as they should have. Robin does not have a real relationship. Giselle does not have a real relationship. Let's call a thing a thing. Juan didn't even come to family day. So, I mean, call a thing a thing. Juan didn't even come to family day that his family was hosting. It is what it is. They're still in their feelings about that. And that's why they've gotten together to scheme to get Wendy off the show. I'm going to do a video on it's already been out there, but Wendy did her interview with Carlos King, but I want to listen to it and I want to dissect it, and then we'll do a video on that too. Because there's some other key points I want to, take out of it and show from other scenes and stuff. So I'll do a whole, me, I'm gonna do a deep dive. I'm gonna do a deep dive. So I'm gonna do a deep dive into that. But just on a logical level, Robin, get out of your feelings. Put on your big girl panties and move on. That is what happens on these shows. You get read for filth, she reads you for filth. You read her for filth. And then you keep it popping and pushing. If every time somebody got read for filth, they acted like Robin and Giselle, these shows would just cease to exist because you could never move forward. You could never move on. Wendy was right. She had the burn party and she was like, what exactly is your issue with me? Like, what exactly is the issue? And Robin had nothing to say and she got up and ran to the sprinter. Because you don't actually have an issue with Wendy. The problem is Wendy hit a nerve and you're projecting your anger, your bitterness, and your disappointment and your embarrassment onto Robin because you can't put it onto Juan. It's displaced anger, Robin. Let the shit go. It wasn't that deep. She didn't say anything that we all weren't thinking. She didn't say anything that wasn't already evident, boo-boo. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And Robin is out here looking like a damn clown and fool. And Charisse is so boring and stale to me. She's so just dry. Oh, no, I didn't touch you. And I love the producers. They're like, oh, really? And it was her holding her back, being like, girl, stop, right? So they straight up got together to lie about it. To lie. Wendy was right. Charisse did physically hold her back because linebacker Robin was brushing up. Because Robin is actually mad about the state of her own relationship, about the state of her own non-marriage, non-engagement situation. And she's taking it out on Wendy because Wendy actually had the balls. She had the audacity to go against the Green-Eyed Bandits. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay, let's see what else happened. Charisse, Robin, Giselle. That's right, they were lying. Robin projecting her anger, and then Ashley saying, that her friend was Chris was flirting with her friend. I don't believe it. Ashley, again, you're projecting your own bullshit onto them. You were mad at Candace because Candace threw Michael Darby under the bus when she broke her fourth wall moment. And she was like, why are you coming for my husband? Michael Darby is available for that. He's the real predator. He's the one that's really touching people's butts. He's this, that. And then also, it was Candace and Giselle who confronted Ashley last season with the text messages from the women being like, oh, Michael Darby's looking to go to a hotel. Oh, there's all these pictures out here about Michael Darby cheating. And they brought it to Ashley on camera on the show. Yes, they took Ashley aside, but they still did it on camera. And there's one thing to bring something to me privately. It's another thing to bring me something privately on camera. There's no private on camera. So when people are like, I brought you aside, not on the group, but you did it while cameras were rolling. There's no such thing as doing something privately on camera. If you would have came to me when we weren't filming, there was no cameras, no producers, no boom sound, and you said, hey girl, these are the text messages. I'm just giving you the heads up. That's a genuine heads up. I don't think Ashley has ever forgiven Candace or Giselle for that. But the reason why Ashley does not go against Giselle is because exactly what she said in this episode, Giselle has some of my secrets in her hat. That's why Ashley doesn't go against Giselle, because she knows Giselle's plays dirty. She knows Giselle's goes all the way down to hell. She knows that Giselle and Robin are the new Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane. You know, Giselle is Lisa Rinna, Robin's Erica Jane. It's the new. They're the new evil, bitter people out there. You know, old bitter women out there. They're the new Lisa and Erica. They have nothing going on in their own lives. They have no storylines. They have no personalities. They have no relationships to speak of. So then they want to go and go against everybody and be mean to everybody and bully everybody else and cut everybody else down. Like Giselle constantly going after Karen. Like, Giselle, aren't you tired? Take a rest, girl. Take a rest, Jizzy. Aren't you tired? Leave Karen alone. Karen is out here trying to live her best life. She's like, I'm in my 60s. I'm dipping it and doing it. I got my boob job. Leave me alone. Leave Karen alone, Giselle. Karen was on her YouTube channel. She tried to act strong, but you can see in her eyes she wanted to cry because Giselle was out here talking about Karen like a dog. And Karen got on her YouTube channel and spoke about it. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Leave her alone. And Robin, leave Wendy alone. This is the thing. I've never been a big Wendy fan. I've never been anti-Wendy, but I've never been like, oh, yes, she's that girl. But I will say, I've grown to like Wendy. I think she's opening up more. I think she's being more honest. She stopped with the whole 4 degrees. She stopped with the hot girl summer. And now she's kind of really coming more into her own. I think she's a fantastic mom. I think she has a beautiful marriage with Eddie. Beautiful marriage. And I like Wendy now. And I do think it's getting to the point that Robin and Giselle are bullying. Even though Wendy can hold her own and she can give it back and she can be like, why are you going crazy? It's getting to the point where it's bullying. And I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, I don't want them to treat, I don't want, you know, Wendy to be the new Sutton or the new Garcelle. You know, I don't want it. I don't want it. It's too much. So we'll see where that all follows out. But I'm team Wendy on this. Robin and Giselle are miserable and they're spewing it everywhere. Ashley is just holding a grudge. She can go after Candace. So she's going after Candace because she's pissed about the state of her marriage. She can't go after Jizzy because she knows Jizzy has her secrets. You see what I'm saying? So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. I'm going to do a quick outro for people on the replay, but hang out, Candy Canes, because right after the outro, I will take your Candy Cane comments. So as always, you guys, comment down below with what you think. You know, do you think that Ashley is harboring resentment from Candace because Candace helped to expose Michael Darby's cheating on camera and this is her get back? Or do you think, no, she's really concerned about Chris cheating on her friend Candace? What do you think about Giselle versus Chris? Who do you believe? Do you believe Chris's version of events or Giselle's versions of events? What do you think about Robin and her faux engagement to Juan? Do you think they're ever actually going to get married or not? What do you think? Put it down below. And also, do you think Robin is just being a bitter Betty? She's holding on to resentment because Wendy read her for filth and told her about herself and her non-existent relationship. And it's time for her just to let it go. And what do you think about stale Charisse, boring Charisse, lying for Robin against Wednesday? As we saw on the show, she lied. She lied and said she didn't have to physically restrain her, but we saw on the footage that she did. What do you think? And what do you think is going to come up on the next couple of episodes? Put it down below. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below and shop I Love collection. Da, da, da. All right, you guys. Now let's